Well, hello, my dear Starchivore friends. How are you doing in this quarantine? I have to say that today, after being locked up pretty much all the time since March 20th, I feel like I'm losing my mind. And I am in a lovely mountain village where I can still enjoy nature and fresh air and a lovely walks in the woods. But today I just wanted to scream to the top of my lungs in the middle of the street and say every possible insult to this freaking coronavirus. Today, I feel like Sally Field in the movie Steel Magnolias. Has any of you seen that movie? That is a classic and just a brilliant movie when she is with her three or four friends, I can't remember, in the cemetery, and she's saying, "I'm so mad, I just want to hit someone. I want to hit them really hard." And then comes Clary, one of the friends, and she gets Wizard, which is Shirley MacLaine, and puts her in the middle and says, "Here, hit this." Well, I have three people here living with me, and they're all lovely people, so I can't hit them. It's my partner and my mother and my sweet aunt. So I won't be able to hit anyone. But sometimes it feels like it will never end. When will it end? And what will it look like when it ends? If we continue like this for much longer, I will have to live from charity. On the other hand, I know that things will work out. I have had to start from zero quite a few times in my life, and if I have to start from zero again, so be it. I just want to get started. So when I feel like this, which is not very common, actually this is the first time since March 20th, then I practice the piano. This is my friend that listens to me and embraces me with its beautiful sound. Even though my concerts have been canceled or postponed, while I practice, I cook. I love to cook. I come up with new recipes for you guys. I plan webinars. I go for a walk. I make phone calls and answer emails, but enough. I want my life back. Who here wants his or her life back? So, before I tell you about my soup and my book club that we will start tomorrow, let me read you a poem that really touched me earlier this week when an Argentine actress recited it in a Facebook Live, actually. And this poem is by Alexis Valdez, who is a Cuban writer and who wrote this poem a few weeks ago. Then, after the poem, I will play for you some music here at the piano. So I'm not going to follow the poem with words. I will follow it with a more perfect language, which is the language of music. I will play some Beethoven for you to heal and to fill our souls and our spirits. So here is the poem, which in its translation from Spanish to English loses a lot of its magic, but it is still very powerful and it's very touching. Here it goes. It's called When the Storm Passes. When the storm passes and the roads are tamed, and we become survivors of a collective shipwreck with a weeping heart and a blessed fate, we will feel happy just for being alive. And we will give a hug to the first stranger, and we will be grateful just for having kept a friend. And then we will remember all that we lost. And all at once we will learn everything we did not learn before. We will no longer be envious, for we all will have suffered. We will no longer be reckless. We will be more compassionate. What belongs to all will be worth more than what each of us individually have achieved. We will be more generous and much more committed. We will understand how fragile it means to be alive. We will irradiate empathy for those who have stayed alive and for those that are gone. We will miss the old man who asked us for a dime in the market, whom his name we didn't know, but was always by our side. And maybe the poor old man was your God in disguise. You never asked his name because you were always in a hurry. And everything will be a miracle, and everything will be a legacy. And life will be respected, the life that we have regained. When the storm passes, I ask you, God, in sorrow, that you return us better, closer to the way you dreamed of us being. Well, I hope you enjoyed the music of this master who writes from the very inner part of his soul, and we have gotten a glimpse of his soul, his emotions. So it's hard to follow up with this imperfect language of words after such beautiful music. But I want to end today's Facebook Live with two things. One is to remind you that tomorrow, Saturday, I am starting the Start Solution online book club. We will all get together for 6, 7, maybe 8 Saturdays afternoons, well, depending on where you are in the world. It will be 4 p.m. Eastern time, and we will discuss a different chapter every week. This page that you're in is the page that I started about 7 years ago when I started my journey through the plant-based, starch-centered, world, and my trip, I guess, my journey. And so I have gone through a lot. I have done dozens and dozens and dozens of webinars with Dr. McDougall itself, which you can watch on his website and in my YouTube channel. I have done dozens of webinars with just about every doctor in the plant-based world and with chefs. But there are always new people. And this book club that I'm starting tomorrow, which by the way is totally free, is for experts and old-timers as well as newcomers. You will receive an email from me once you register that will tell you what to read. It is important that everybody who attends has read the assigned chapter so that we can get the most out of it. And you can come with questions. So to register for this electronic or online book club, you need to look in this page. There is a link to that. I will then post it again later on. You could even send me an email, but only send me an email if you haven't sent me one. If you have already sent me one asking me to include you in my mailing list or in the book club, then you don't have to send me one. But otherwise, you can send me an email at born4health@gmail.com. That is BORN, then the number 4, and then the word health, HEALTH @gmail.com. So that's tomorrow. It'll be exciting. It will be fun. It will be supportive. It will be interactive. And it will be free. Then I want to tell you that today I wanted to make something simple with potatoes, because potatoes, remember, are the perfect food together with the sweet potatoes. These are superfoods that contain everything we need. We could, like Dr. McDougall has said many times, we could actually live our lives with just potatoes, or potatoes and sweet potatoes. The only thing that they don't have would be vitamin B12. I guess we could eat a little bit of dirt that comes with the potato and get it that way. Otherwise, you would need to take a little supplement. B12, according to Dr. McDougall, does not get depleted until years later after you've started a totally plant-based diet. You can read about all this on his website. You can watch the webinars that we have done about supplements and B12. And so I want to tell you that today I had potatoes and I had zucchinis. So I made a soup that is inspired by a soup that I had at True North Health Center, where I've been many times, and I love it and enjoy it. And it's a very simple soup, especially after you do a fast. And this soup, which is very simple, tastes like the most amazing dish ever. So what do? Well, you put anywhere from 6 potatoes, depending on the size. I used 6 large potatoes and 2 or 3 zucchinis. You cut them all up so that they will cook faster. You peel them. I mean, you peel the potatoes. I didn't peel the zucchinis. And you put the potatoes and the zucchinis, those 2 ingredients, in a pressure pot, like Instant Pot or any other pressure, or on this regular pot on the stove, and you boil it until everything is very soft, because when it's soft, then you get an immersion blender and you blend this, and it's this amazing creamy soup that combines the unique flavor of the potatoes with the zucchini. That alone is just delicious. You could add a little bit of pepper or your favorite spice, and that is just enough. It fills you up, these potatoes. So I have a bowl here that I want to show you. There it is. I sometimes sprinkle a little bit of smoked paprika. Today, right now, I have some chipotle chili, but you could put oregano, you could put anything, or you could put nothing like they do at True North. I really don't know if they did. I know it was potatoes and zucchini, but I don't know. It's just plain. Okay, and it's ready, and it is delicious. Very creamy, very comforting. And I will show you a few more details of this soup in an upcoming webinar that I'm going to do with my grandmother's cannelloni, and with another recipe that I call Gustavo's menjunje, which is a very versatile combination of vegetables that you can use to put on top or at the bottom of a lot of things, so you can eat it accompanied or on the side or by itself. So I hope that you enjoyed this time that we had together, that I started a little bit crazy, then I read you the beautiful poem, then I played Beethoven, then I reminded you of the book club for tomorrow, and now I'm going to have with my family a nice bowl of hot potato soup. And I see a lot of you here writing, you are sideways. Oh, I am. Well, I am sorry. I didn't know that. I guess next time I will have to adjust the direction of the phone. What I'm going to do is I will download this video, I will correct it, and then I will post it again. How about that? Okay, thank you everybody. I appreciate you joining me.